Welcome to the YouTube channel, everybody. Welcome. In today's topic, we're going to be talking about emotional urges, and it's going to be emotional. But inside of this post, I'm going to talk to you about the 3 ways to take control of your emotional urges. A big thing that people have issues with today. Now, first and foremost, all of my resources are in the description below. If you want to work on your emotions, don't worry. You're not in here just flapping in the wind. I got you. There are free. Then I have resources that are paid, and I have stuff that's cost even more. But look through them, decide what best works for you. But let's get right into it. Okay. Emotional urges. First, we need to understand what an emotion is in the first place. I mean, we can feel emotions, but what is an emotion? What's an emotion? Because a lot of people will say, oh, it's a feeling. So what do you feel? Is it cold? Well, cold is not an emotion. So feeling is not an emotion right there. I feel it. Well, can't you feel with your tongue too? I just ate a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I felt the taste of the peanut butter. Peanut butter is not an emotion. So feeling is not emotion. Feeling itself, okay? Feeling itself, this is the detection mechanism God implanted into everything that He created. Rocks can feel. They might not have emotions, but they can feel. And feeling is not just through touch. I feel the colors through my eyes. Like I can see green. I can see red. I can see a bird flying. I can see, people running. I can hear birds chirping. I can hear the waves crashing on the beach. I can hear a baby crying. All of this is feeling. Feeling is reception. It's pure reception. There's no blocking on what feeling actually is. You feel everything. Okay? Or you have the ability to feel everything in the scope of your reach. And the scope of your reach is actually determined by your intellect. Okay? It's determined by your intellect. What is intellect? It means cognitive facilities. What is a cognitive facilities? It's your cognition, it's your eyesight, it's your hearing, it's your touch, it's your taste, it's your intuition. This is what intellect is. Intellect does not mean intelligence. It doesn't mean that you're smart. People who actually have issues retaining information might be extremely intellectual. But I understand modern dictionaries kind of move the mark on what it means, but that's not how it's represented in spirit. So emotions, or your intellect definitely determines what you feel, because some people can see 3 feet, some people can see up to 10 miles. Some people can feel with their right arm. Some people don't have a right arm at all. Some people can hear the cows, grazing and chewing on grass. Other people can't hear a single thing. Now, this is something, it seems a little complex, but I think you guys can understand this. Feeling is it's at the discretion of your intellect. And how healthy is your intellect? How healthy are your eyeballs? How healthy are your ears, your eardrum, your ear canal? How healthy is your sense of touch? Okay, how healthy is your intuition? Are you apathetic and you can't detect things in spirit? That's what apathy is. It's the highest level of confusion. So, feeling is receptive. Okay, receptive only. You cannot communicate feelings. You receive them and then you interpret them. You don't even communicate them. You interpret what you see. Why? Because green might actually be purple. And we only are able to detect with our eyes such a small portion of the light spectrum. You know, like gamma rays, our eyes cannot detect gamma rays. We need systems for that, machines and stuff like that. And only a small portion of the sound waves can our ears detect. You know, and the list can go on with pretty much everything. Like there's a Scoville scale and how spicy things are. Some people can't even eat a bell pepper, when some people can destroy and eat as many habaneros, and any hot peppers as they want. But nonetheless, okay, that's feeling. Feeling, just imagine feeling or how everything is pointing towards you. Everything is in motion towards you. But what is emotion? Emotion, actually the word, it means social agitation. Okay? Social agitation. So here's with that definition, we can kind of understand a little bit. Number one, emotion requires at least one other human being. You at least need one other human in your mind or in person, okay? Or in your mind, on the TV, on your cell phone, or in person. So you cannot have an emotion all by yourself. It's impossible. Emotions need, by definition, another human being because it's social. And social agitation or a social stirring, what is the energy that is a product of the connection between you and this other person? Is it sadness? Is it happiness? Is it boredom? Is it this or that? All of this stuff depends on actually a few things like the style of leadership, communication styles, the sex language, the love language. And no, I don't mean sex language as in the sexual activity. It's the energy. And if you want to learn more about your sexual energy, get your copy of a piece called Love. That's where I've written like an entire chapter on what sex actually is, what it actually is. And I am thinking about making a sequel to a piece called Love. I'm thinking about titling it A Love Called Peace. And that is still on the forefront, but I'm pretty certain I'll get started writing on that very soon. Nonetheless, so that is emotion and that is feeling. Okay, so what's the purpose of an emotion? Because anything that has been created has design, and design means that there's a purpose for it. So what's the purpose of an emotion? People will say, well, emotions are here to let me, to tell me that if I like something or don't like something, if I'm supposed to be here or not supposed to be here. So listen, emotions are not your advisor. They are not your leader. They are not your master. They are in no way, shape, or form supposed to be giving you guidance, advice, mentorship at all. Emotions are a brainless thing. But in all actuality, did you know that emotions don't even exist? Emotions don't even exist. Emotions don't exist. They're not real. And I know this might be a slap in the face. I apologize about that. But I'm standing 10 toes down. Emotions are not real. They don't even exist. Why? And well, how do I know this? Well, why hasn't science ever put like happiness underneath a microscope yet? Why haven't we seen the single cell organism that propagates sadness? Or what about anger or rage or wrath or any other emotion, pleasant or unpleasant emotion? It's because emotions are not real. And I say it like this. Emotions are kind of like the dark. If you walk into a room and the lights are off and you see everything is shrouded in the dark, I ask you, take a cup of that darkness. I want to study it. I really want to look at it very, very closely. So, okay, you take a cup, you scoop the darkness out, but then what ends up happening is you turn on a light to study it. And what ends up happening is the darkness vanishes just like that. As fast as the light goes in, the darkness leaves. Darkness is not real, but we can detect darkness. Why? Because our eyes can detect the lack or a void of light. We can detect pieces of existence that do not have light. We call that darkness. Okay? So, the next thing is, emotions. Bottom line up front, Kyle. Emotions are when your mind, not your brain, or when your mind is detecting the absence of God. Did you know that? Emotions are actually when God is not present. I need to be a little bit more specific. So God is omnipresent. He's everywhere at the same time. So how can God not be present? Well, more than likely, you are being presented images from demons that are making you focus on the glass is half empty. That this portion of my life is so bad. Oh my God, I lost my job. Why am I losing everything in my life? All you are focusing is on your destruction. God is not here to destroy you. So this is what I mean by a piece of existence that God is not present. Emotions exist there. So a deeper look into emotions is that all of your emotions have a purpose. Your emotions are here to influence you in some type of way. Anyway, it could be a pleasant emotion. It could be a negative emotion. And emotions and intuition are not the same thing. But we're not going to talk about intuition yet, or not even in this video. I don't want to talk about that. But only because I gave you the definition of an emotion. So just run with that. Figure out the science, the logic, the processes of that, and apply it to your world. And then you'll discover, oh, this is an emotion right now. Oh, this is not an emotion, actually. Okay? So, all emotions are here to get you to rush. Okay? They urge you to do something. They influence you to do something. Now, let's say you're 21, it's your 21st birthday, and you've been a good boy or a good girl, and you did not at all drink any beer or alcohol. So it's your 21st birthday. You're out. It's college, and you finally go to the bar for the first time. Instead of sitting in the restaurant, you go straight up to the bar. And you say, hey, can I have a beer? It's my 21st birthday. It's my very first time drinking. Okay, people heard you say that. Now people are buying your drinks. People coming up, giving you money. Happy birthday, happy birthday. Oh my gosh, happy birthday. And what ends up happening is now you are experiencing the emotion called happiness. Okay, now your brain is making connections. Your brain is associating the bar, you going to the bar with the emotion of happiness. Okay? So now fast forward 10 years, you're 31 years old. And now what ends up happening is it's Thursday and you're ready for the weekend so you can go to the bar and get some good happiness in you. You don't know, but you've turned into an undercover alcoholic. You don't really know that yet. You're 31 and you're really craving going to the bar because you just want to be happy. Okay? Emotions urge you to do things. If you any of your urges, okay, anything that you are urged to do, it's all rooted in at least one emotion. You discover that emotion and the urge goes away. And I mean that wholeheartedly. So, but many people have issues with their imagination and their mind and, like managing your mind. So they don't understand how to get the image that created and the unpleasant emotion out of their mind. For example, let's say you had an element or a middle school teacher, or let's say a high school teacher that told you will never amount to be anything in life. Okay, this high school teacher told you that you would never amount to be anything real in life, and that stuck with you. That hit you in the chest like a ton of bricks. So, what ends up happening is, I forgot what I was going to say. Just trying to get my example down. Okay. Well, anyway, so, rooted in all of your urges is, an emotion. Okay. And the emotion, yeah. Okay. I got it. So, as soon as you, are trying to observe the emotion so that the urge goes away, you have issues because now spiritual warfare is occurring in your mind. Now, all you can think about or all you can vision or envision is your high school teacher pointing at you, telling you that you're not going to be anything in life. Now, this didn't happen to me, so this is a pure example, okay? I would have said something right back because I've always been a big dude, okay? So anyway, when people are telling you that, when I teach my students to look at the emotion and not the event, they always seem to talk to me and tell me that they are having issues removing the event. And of course, over time, I teach my students how to get through this, how to manage your mind. Because did you know you're the only person that's in your brain and mind that thinks? You're the only one in there. Nobody else is thinking for you. Literally, you're the only one in there thinking, processing, imagining, seeing, So to observe the emotion, you need to you need to learn how to master your mind, how to master your imagination. If you don't master your imagination, you will never be able to control any urge in your life. Any urge. If you're being attacked by gluttony, Beelzebub, and Beelzebub is the demon that rules over gluttony. If you're being attacked by him and now you're 600, 700, 800 pounds, eating has become emotional for you. And the urge to, put something in a microwave or order some pizza or yell at your spouse, your caretaker to give you some food, you can't, because somewhere down the line you've connected some emotion with food to an urge. Maybe the best times in your life with food was when you were a child and your whole family was together. And maybe you're trying to recreate that scenario. So now food is the only thing you can see in your mind. But underneath the urge to eat is actually an emotion. Deep down, I told you, I think I'm better than therapists, to be honest. I sincerely think so. But anyway, let's get into the 3 ways. Okay? So the 3 ways to take control of your emotional urges. Number 1 is slow the response, not the emotion. So you can't control an emotion. That's true. Okay? When people say you're like, don't be sad. Oh, excuse me. I sincerely apologize. So don't be sad. Don't be angry. Stop being like this. I want you to be happy. Like, you can't be happy. If I fake being happy right now, but I'm angry on the inside, it's called a lie. I'm lying to you. I'm lying to myself. Emotions are only to be experienced, but the thing that you can control is your response. Okay? Emotions are trying to get you to react, but with your discernment and spiritual structure, you need to learn how to respond instead of to react. Okay? You have time. When people detect emotions, especially the emotions that are real frantic, they have to get it out. They have to yell. They have to laugh. They have to do this. They have to spread the good news. No, you're reacting. That's a sign of emotional immaturity. Okay, so you can control your emotion, but you can decide how you respond. Emotions are temporary spirits sent to rush you. Okay, emotions are not temporary spirits. So actually, they are. But emotions are used from demons as a tool in spiritual warfare targeting you. Okay? And happiness, sadness, every single emotion. Emotions don't actually serve human beings well at all. Okay? They are here to rush you. Okay? Rush your decisions, rush your words, rush your discernment. They want you to skip the part of discernment called verification. If you didn't know, verification actually has 3 steps. Yes, verification is a spiritual gift, but like with any of your spiritual gifts, you can, if you are gifted with discernment, this gift of discernment can be trained so that you can master it. I teach empaths. I teach healers. I teach teachers. I teach people who have charisma. I teach people who have discernment. And yes, all of this, all of these spiritual gifts can, in fact, be trained. And your spiritual gifts are not only for you, they're for the community. If you are a business owner, don't think that your spiritual gifts are like non-existent here. Your business is a reflection of your stewardship of your spiritual gift. This is why, like, the first week, the first week, yes, of one of my students, she was or is a realtor, okay, not a realtor, a real estate investor, and the first week, getting her spirit aligned, she instantly gained confidence. She was not arrogant. She ended up earning $40,000 in capital investments. Okay. And if you are in business and you want to talk to me about your business, book some time with me, so we can really get you started on the path to earning millions. Okay. And yes, God wants you rich. Okay. I can tell you, God does not want you poor. But okay, sorry for that. So there are three steps to discernment. The first step is observation. You need to observe somehow. So with your eyes, ears, taste, touch, you need to observe a thing. And then the second thing is step is called verification. The verification step is the step that emotions get you to look over, to rush through. You can't verify anything if you're rushing, okay? Imagine you are walking and somebody is holding up like a piece of paper, okay? This piece of paper, they've written 4 big letters on it, okay? But the thing is, you only get one time as you are walking by to read those 4 letters. But if you were on a car, or on a car, if you were in a car going 50 miles an hour driving, and I was on the side of the road with the same sheet of paper, you probably wouldn't be able to read those 4 big letters anymore. Why? Because you can't verify. You observe that there's a piece of paper, but you are unable to verify. This means you can't have discernment. If you skip over verification or any of the steps in discernment, you don't have discernment. If you don't have discernment, you are confused. The opposite of discernment is confusion. Okay? So nothing in God's kingdom is rushed because God is outside of time. That's why slowing your response is one of the most spiritual things you can do. So let the emotion rise, experience it, and watch as it pass. Okay? Just become the butterfly on the wall. Yes, you're going to be angry. Yes, you're going to be happy. Yes, you're going to be sad. Yes, you're going to be whatever emotion. Just watch it pass. That's all. Now, if you don't follow the emotion, it will eventually leave. Okay? Or if you observe it, just look at the emotion fester up and it will fizzle down. I promise you. You're not crazy. You're being trained to move at a pace of spirit. Okay? The second way that you control your emotional urges is interrupt the pattern with new focus. Okay, emotions are behind every single urge. You don't just crave the bar, you crave the feeling the bar gave you. Happiness, attention, escape, connection, whatever the emotion that you felt, your body remembers it. Now, the urge shows up trying to get that feeling back. But when you shift your focus, you shift the emotional pattern. Pray, speak truth, move, worship. Whatever redirects your attention also rewrites your very urges, okay? Your focus builds a new emotional memory and new spiritual pattern, okay? 3, have emotional conversation. Emotions are not your enemy, okay? They actually are tools used in spiritual warfare. If you avoid them, they will torment you. If you ask them questions, they start confessing. Okay, say, sadness. I feel you here. Why are you here? And then you will quite literally get an image in your head and in your mind. I mean this wholeheartedly. My students at first didn't believe me. If you ask happiness, sadness, anger, rage, just fury, why are you here right now? You will get an image. And the image is exactly why the emotion is present. And guess what? The emotion wants to stay alive. It wants to continue on. So this is why your emotion, like wherever you found happiness, it's going to urge you to go back there. If your teacher in high school told you that you're not going to amount to nothing, that emotion of rejection, it's going to try to put you in situations that make you more rejected. That's just how the emotion works. When you're sad, this is why your mind tells you to go home, close the door, don't answer anybody's calls or texts, because you're sad. Depression, hurry up and do nothing. So these emotions they are able to talk to you, or they're able to expose why they are there. Okay, why are you tormenting me? So the emotion will reveal the wound, the fear, or the lie that it's standing on. And once it's exposed, it loses power. You take authority back. Now, this is the end of the video, okay? If you at all are in your spiritual awakening, or if you are in the dark night of the soul, it's time that you get realigned. It's time that you figure out that emotions are never supposed to be your leader. Going with the flow means that you are emotionally not intelligent, okay? Going with the flow is only for dead fish. Only fish float with the flow, okay? You're very much alive if you're listening to this. So also going with the flow, it usually means that you are inside of somebody else's plan. It's not your plan. You are supposed to create a plan and then serve the community. Okay? What's your business going to be? Who are you supposed to heal? When's your book coming out? If you don't know any of this stuff, you're probably going to be miserable for the rest of your natural life. Okay? But get your copy of the ebook, A Piece Called Love. It's down below. If you're having procrastination issues and you want spiritual structure, get your copy of the ebook called The War on Procrastination. It's in the comment section below. Also, if you want to take it a step deeper, where I give you plans, I give you things to do. There's templates and all this great stuff. Take it a step further and enroll in the spiritually disciplined leader. Okay, especially if you are a leader, a co-founder, a founder, a CEO, a director, a CEO, a CFO, a COO. You guys, this mini course is for you. Okay, the spiritually disciplined leader. Also, if you are really looking to master your imagination, to master your mind, okay, you need to seriously consider enrolling in the mini course called The Imagination for Empaths. This will blow your mind once you finally understand how to master how you think. Because believe it or not, people don't even know how to think. You just accept everything. This is what it means when they say going with the flow. You decide on nothing. You're not even processing, you're not comparing, you're not contrasting anything. You're just accepting, and then you're viewing the image that's being presented to you, and you think just viewing the image presented to you is thinking, and it's not thinking. Anyway, I really appreciate each and every one of you guys. Please consider doing all of the YouTube stuff. I want to know down in the comment section, have your emotions ever gotten the best of you? If so, be brave and let me know how in the comment section. If you didn't know, now you know.